pylon just straight ahead, middle third of the field.
Shortest distance between 2 points. Straight line.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 24-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Cousins to throw it. Open here, Adam Thielen. A big play there. Cousins to Thielen. 52 yards. The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone.
53's the mark. 53. Check 53.
Now Cousins. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they'll get this down to the 10. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Vikings, first down. 1st and 10 at the 10-yard line.
First red zone chance now for the Vikings. They've got a 1st and 10 from the 10. They'll run with Darkwa. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Ronald Darby that time, the one who got a hand in and knocked it free. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Now Cousins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Waiting. Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Let's 5-7.
Check right. Watching you grind.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
First down, Eagles.
Here we go.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field of the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
This pass complete, Wentz to Ertz. And he gets it down to the 32. 7 yards there and a first down.
A gain of 7. First down, Philadelphia.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Wentz. And he spots Henderson open left side. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Here we go. Pac-Man. 180.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense.
On 1st and goal, Howard. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Now Wentz. This will be caught at about the 6. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. It's a 6-yard carry. It does put him just a few yards short of the goal line, but fourth down coming up. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Safety creep. Check 24. Check 24. Whip, 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 whip. Watch the whip.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Where's the hunt? Andy!
52 to the mic. Come off the ball. Come on.
382, late 50. Hey, we're good, we're good. Done. Where's the hunt?
On the run, Darquan. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And Charles, a couple extra defensive backs in here on 3rd and 1.
Not expecting them to run it at all.
53 is the mic. 53 is the mic. Silver. 53 is the mic.
Hey, can't.
It's been a long day for you.
Where's that?
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But we also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Throwing now is Wentz. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
42. Mike 42, check, check, Mike 42. You go night-night.
Working from the gun, Wentz. Aguilar has it. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line.
Here we go. 180.
Strong right. Four down, check, four down.
Trey 15. 82.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And the reception made by Alshon Jeffrey. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Touch. 20.
Check, 55, come on. Here we go, D. All day, D.
Wentz off the fake handoff to Howard. And this is Ertz with it, right side. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. Wentz to throw again. But when this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. The 20. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Orleans Darkwa. His first touchdown on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And we are even at 10 apiece. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
All tied up at 10. 2 minutes left in the first half. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 2nd and 9, Wentz. He's got a man, complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
First down, Eagles.
Mike.
Go. 20.
Cut.
Running from the gun with Howard. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Throwing is Wentz. Right side caught by Jackson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles have taken the lead. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes it a 17-10 score. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
21-yard line.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Pick it up.
Here's Cousins. Buying time to his left. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
It seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Fielded just inside the 30. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
And he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
To throw again on second down. Wentz flushed out right. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
To throw, it's Wentz. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Bailey got the extra point, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. (17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
Watch tight. Tight ends right. Watch tight.
A final shot before half for Wentz. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game, we'll see what the second half brings.
And it'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan showing you.
You go tight. You got tight. You
Sunday.
General West.
It's a jet sweep as they get this to Jackson. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move. Forward down, forward down.
It's great 57.
Kill. Hey, turn it out. Back.
Wait, son.
Now Wentz. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 39.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Here we go.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the give, running right is Howard. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
Here we go. Back. Waiting.
Here we go, D. Here I come again.
Now on 2nd and 13. Wentz. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Emerson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Just a 30-yard punt that time. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half, and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie.
Key tight end. We got 3.
Now on 2nd and 16. Cousins. Left side caught by Diggs. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now Darquan. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
3 bud. Check 2.
Now they'll run on the draw. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Mike. To Hunt. Andy.
Switch. Switch.
Cousins now from the 50. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's got this down to the 35. A little surprise pays off on 3rd and 1. Pass instead of run. Gets him 15 yards.
First down. First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Leave it. Bring up 48. Check. Blue draw, Corker.
And to give this time to the tailback. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
And when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Throwing, Cousins. And that is incomplete here. Rodney McLeod that time able to knock it away.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
First down. First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
To Hunt. 180.
Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
Where's the Hunt?
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And nowhere to run on the interior of that deep. Offensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the Eagles' 25-yard line.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Vikings, first down. First and goal at the 5-yard line.
To Hunt. 48.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer.
Protein spill.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score one touchdown, you're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got one, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Now Cousins. The quick slant caught. Only able to pick up 2, and that leads us to 3rd and goal.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back dive play.
This Eagle defense, they won't give in without a fight. This is 3rd and goal. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. This Eagle defense, they won't give in without a fight. This is 3rd and goal. Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Herb Smith Jr., his 5th touchdown now on the year. And they are able to break the tie and move out in front here in this 4th quarter. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And they will take a 7-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Wentz. Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henderson. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play there on the catch and run. 42 yards.
1st down, Eagles.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On 1st down, they run with Howard. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive.
Second and 12 at the 39-yard line.
Jahan, 180.
Too low, Captain.
On second and 12, Cousins. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And that takes us from second to third down.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete.
New Mike 52, Mike 52.
You don't want none, baby. You don't want none. Hey.
On third down, Cousins. Open man is Thielen is complete. And he has another first down as they get the ball down to the Eagles' 38-yard line. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just one pick so far and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a fourth quarter advantage. Cousins now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Orleans Darkwa with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time the turnover on the fumble, and they were in enemy territory, so that had to be very frustrating. Down on the scoreboard here, can't do it again.
You nailed every part of what was frustrating. Down on the scoreboard, had a drive going, they pushed it past the 50-yard line, so it looked like they were in striking distance, and to come away with nothing, not a good feeling at all, to put it mildly. Now they can't afford to do that again.
Yeah, now can they get that bad taste out of their mouth here? The play began back at the 23, and they pick up 23. Wentz now 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. Shotgun now for Wentz. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Danielle Hunter able to record his 5th sack of the season. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
That just brings us right back to what you said at the beginning.
Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. The sack by big number 98, Linval Joseph.
We got him now.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
And I think we'll probably see him go for it here on fourth down. No reason not to. Down a couple of scores, they have to try and make something good happen.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Check, 42 for Mike. Check.
The Eagles indeed snap it. Wins. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. On fourth down, that turned out like a punt. Maybe he was better defensively there just to knock it down.
And you know they go over those situations. All right, fourth down, where's the ball? Where would we get the ball? But instinct takes over, and when it's in the air, they just go and get it. So it's hard to get on him for intercepting it, but the smart play would have been what you suggested. Knock it down and take over in a deeper position.
Here we go. Bring the energy.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
They'll run again now with Darkwa. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Jahan, what are these?
54 Mike.
Left 50, left 50.
Shift.
Cousins. The open man is Smith. A good pick up there of 20 yards. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. In on the stop there, Andrew Sendejo.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The Vikings on third down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Vikings, first down. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Hey, watch the screen, watch the screen. Watch the screen.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half, the adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Minnesota, they climb back to 500 now at 3 up and 3 down. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, the losses are piling up as they drop.
I'm in a brand new model. It'll be here tomorrow. I don't got fears or problems. Only got real ones round them. Only got. It take a week to count it. Then I'm back up. Name the place and we back up. Running these racks up. 100 meals a week after. Dying from laughter. When they come to handles, never had one. With a bad one. Made a meal today and ain't my last one.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
I'm moving too fast, I can't stop. Wiping it down with the paint hot. Left hand on the wheel. I'm closing the top when the raindrop. I'm keeping the game in the headlock. When throw it, blinding my dreadlock. In the end zone with the mad dot. One phone call, get it dead stop. I feel like I own the season. Say one thing, just give me a reason. Know you're mad, I'm undefeated. Top dog, making it even.
Oh, I had to get back up. I had to get back up.
I can't take no off. You better call back up. I'm running it down to finish. I don't play, get down and get it. Talk about that, come slide, I'm with it. Better see me now, on God, I'm litty. I know that you tryna go big. Better run up the cash, you love to spend. Made it, kill it, and did it again. But the intent, no, I'm down to win. I can't feel bad about it. I know you sad about it.
Know you sad about it. Know you sad about it.
Mm-hmm.